What's up, guys? It's Matt Campoli here. I'm your host, the Price to Sell podcast. Thank you again for tuning in. We brought the big boys in today. We brought Mr. Jason Lam, Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for CenterCourt Developments. CenterCourt has done notorious buildings like the Transit City Condos, 101 Peter, 55 Mercer, to name a few. Jason is an awesome dude, and he's going to bring a ton of value to this episode in regards to pre-construction. There's a big conversation going on now about, are pre-construction prices too high? Are they going to stay high? Can we justify these high price per square foot? How is the future of the Toronto pre-construction and condo market going to look? We get into all these questions. Jason answers them all beautifully. So if you guys are interested in what the future of Toronto looks like, what the future value looks like, and just pre-construction development as a whole, this episode is for you. Without further ado, let's get right into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli. I just want to give a big shout out to everyone that follows and been following and watches all the time consistently. You guys rock. Please don't forget to share it with your friends. But today, we're going to get right into it. We're playing in the center of the court.
Center.
We're playing with the big boys. 19 buildings, 10,000 units, and development value of $5.6 billion. That's still accurate?
It's 20 buildings, just over 11,000 units in around 12 years.
Let's go. In my opinion, one of the fastest building developers out there. So we're lucky enough to be seated here with Mr. Jason Lam, partner and senior vice president of sales and marketing for CenterCourt. Thank you for coming, man.
It's an honor. Thank you for having me. Really excited to be on here. I've been following everything you've been doing. We actually met at the Buzz conference.
Yes.
And we touched base, and then there was the Ryan Serhant thing with the digital world
entry. Yeah.
And we caught up, and then I think your boy Dave was there, and we were talking a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Dave, he was like, yeah, I'm trying. I'm like, you're not trying. You are.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And I'm like, you are the guy, man. You go do it. He's like, yeah. And we were just getting jacked up in the corner, after 7 drinks.
Yeah.
Just trying to pump each other up. But I'm glad to be on. It was a while ago, man. So again, glad to be here.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, man. CenterCourt, obviously super reputable.
Yeah.
Developer in the city. My first pre-con deal was CenterCourt.
Get out.
Ever.
Dude, my first job in pre-con was a receptionist for CenterCourt.
No way.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Look at that.
101 Peter, their first project ever.
Yeah.
I was in a skilled trade before, and I quit. And I was very young, and I had no money. A good friend of mine who's in the industry, Brian Shu, RDS, shout out to the group there, and he hired me. They sent me to a Milbourne group, sent me as a receptionist. The worst receptionist you can imagine was me. I was hungover all the time. And it was 101 Peter, man. And that's where I sort of, that was their first project. That was my first job in real estate. And then, call it full circle, right? 10, 12 years later, they give me a call and interview me, and here I am.
Now you're the guy.
I'm one of many people that drive an incredible team.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a different animal, CenterCourt. So, just sort of speaking to what we've accomplished, it's not many people can do what we've done in 12 years. So we're very aggressive, an incredible back-end team. People see me, people see Shalini, Mark and Norris, people see maybe Gavin, but there's an entire army of people that are incredibly intelligent and forward-thinking, always value engineering, always trying to find the better way. There's no sort of moment where we've got it figured out. There's always if those guys are doing this way, or if there's, if we're learning on the fly, other cities, other development companies, there's always a way to improve. And that's the way it's always been. And we've always been quick to adapt, and it's been a wild ride, man. I've been there for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And buddy, let me tell you, time flies at
CenterCourt. Were you the one doing the presentation for the first Transit City?
No.
In the sales center?
No.
Who was that?
That was an old sales company that they had hired a Cornerstone. So it would have been Johnson Chang, and that was TC1, 2, and 3. I did the presentation for 4 and 5, which is in 2019 in that sort of warehouse setup.
Oh, yes.
behind the sales
I
center.
remember that.
And there was a lineup.
I was
down
there
the
for that
street.
too.
Yeah, were you there?
Yes,
Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, that was fun. That was my first project with CenterCourt.
True.
And that was like, whew, right? Like sort of being brought in, setting up shop, partnered with Smart REIT. Our first go, systems, personnel, everything was fresh. All the weight in the world, and that was quite the experience. Like we broke a lot of people, including myself, getting through that because it was 1,000 units that we blew out in like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was crazy. It was a crazy time, right? And that kicked off like a whole string of launches, for CenterCourt in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been through 10 launches in 5 years, so 2 a year. So keeping people busy, right? Like we're always active, right? I think when we talk to brokers, they're like, we want to align with people that are going to keep us busy, right? Like, why do 100 deals with 100 different developers? We do 100 deals with one developer and be like the rock star and be, have that relationship. But also, look, we build, we pay, we do what we need to do. We find great sites. If you look at all of our projects, the average days to 75% sold is roughly like, I think between 10 and 15 days in the history of 20 buildings.
That's crazy. That's really good.
Right?
Yeah.
So look, we don't know the market, but we adapt well to the market.
Yes.
We recognize that yesterday's price ain't today's price.
For sure.
And so when you put the time and the energy to understand that, then we're a much easier partner to work with. Because I'm not expecting some crazy price. Yeah. And you're like, well, I can't sell this, right? So we understand. Our mandate is to get to construction, build this thing. We build faster than anyone. I think.
How is that?
It's actually sequencing.
Okay.
It's management. So we have our own in-house construction team.
My good buddy's one of your supers.
Oh, but I had dinner with him.
Yeah?
Adriano.
Yeah,
he's
shout out
such
Adriano.
a beaut.
Yeah, he's a beaut.
If you're watching Adriano, big shout out. I had dinner with him. He was mentioning like, oh man, Matthew Campoli is like one of my very good friends.
Yeah, we're good.
Like,
we're good boys.
He's a beaut, right? But it's sequencing, it's organization, it's mobilizing, and when you do it enough times, you're able to sort of maximize your timelines. We work 6 days on, so on and so forth. We start early and late. They're just a group of savages.
Yes.
And I think it's the technique, right? It's sequencing of order. If you build the superstructure, all the concrete, and then move on to the next step, it's like, no, everything is, in sequence. So those are the things. Again, I'm not a construction guy, even though I was in construction for 4 years. They do a terrific job. Like Prime, if you ever see our sites, like they're just flying.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're developers. We're builders, right? Like we're a great marketing team, and we put a lot of our projects on the map. But at the end of the day, we are building homes for people. Yeah. Whether they're investment or end user, they're getting their asset faster. If you're a realtor, you're getting, commissions faster. Like we are just full service. We're just like on a timeline, we're optimal for a broker that wants to do high volume, always two or three a year. You can rely on CenterCourt to come and put the product out there, good quality product that's marketed well, priced well, and we're going to get to the ground. We're going to build that thing out, and it's going to be great. Yeah. The thing is that we've really looked at real estate and pre-construction as commodities, and that really kind of screws up people's sort of outlook on what we're doing here, right? So at the end of the day, we're home builders, man. And and I don't think anyone does it better than we do from A to Z. So acquisitions, deal structuring, sales and marketing, pricing, construction, customer care. I don't think anyone really compares to the operation that we've got running. And the truth is, we're not even done. Like we're not done improving. There is room to improve. And so we continue to evolve into CenterCourt 2.0, and that's kind of scary.
And are you guys basketball fans? Is that why CenterCourt? Like, why not Center Ice?
Actually, Andrew Hoffman, who's our CEO, which is like the most low-key guy in the industry. You'll never see him at any event. He'll never poke his head out there. He's just super under the radar. Those guys are the dangerous guys.
Yeah,
right? Those guys
sure.
are the savages.
Yeah.
He's a big tennis fan.
Okay.
And so CenterCourt, you shake the hand at CenterCourt. Yes. So I think that kind of pulled through. And
cool.
He was former Menkes, and I started shop in 2010. Brought in Chemez and all. It's kind of like grew. Yeah. And they started acquiring talent, and like they recognized that you don't know everything. So hire the guy that knows more than you, and you're going to succeed.
Hello there, my fellow real estate enthusiasts. Today's episode is brought to you by the one and only Warrior Law, the law firm that's the best in the biz when it comes to closing deals. These guys are not your grandmother's law firm. They complete same-day status certificates and purchase agreement reviews so you can put in your offers without a care in the world. Plus, they're digital, so you can have virtual closings across Ontario. Talk about fancy. And get this, they're available 7 days a week. That's right, no rest for the wicked. They even speak over 8 languages, so there's no excuse for any lost in translation drama. Warrior Law works hand in hand with real estate agents and mortgage brokers, so you know they're the real deal. They'll make sure your transactions are smooth and work around the schedule to get those closing docs when you need them. So, if you're looking for a law firm that's not only exceptional, but also makes closing deals look like a piece of cake, Warrior Law is your go-to. Check out the description in the episode to learn more. And what are some, let's name drop some notable buildings. So for those that don't know CenterCourt.
Oh, man, okay. Built or unbuilt? Built, we can go to Core Access, which is Church and Wood. We've got 101 Peter, Karma, Index, Zen King West, which like on resale is like, for some reason that building is really hot. They have the outdoor running track, which is really cool. Yeah. Transit City 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the pre-con side, Forest Hill, Transit 8 Wellesley, 199 Church, 55 Mercer, 252 Church, Prime, Westline, Kipling Station. I'm sure I'm missing something. Forest Hill Condos, if I didn't say that. But yeah, we've got a lot going on.
As you meant, I've done quite a few deals with you guys. I've done TC1, TC5, and 55 Mercer.
There you go. Yeah. We need to add more.
We do.
We got to get more Matt Campoli.
We're going to get more Matt Campoli.
Yeah, we're going to get lots of Matt Campoli.
Yeah, we are.
It can be done.
It's going to happen. Like I said before this pod, I'm working on it. I want to just, my pre-con story, my first deal with you guys was hilarious. I was still barbering. I was still cutting hair about 2.5 years into real estate. And one of my hair clients was calling me. And I was like, I had a bit of a heavy day. I saw the phone light up. I saw his name. Like, shit, like I don't want to cut hair right now. You know, he was one of those guys like, are you free right now?
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. Let me just pick up and I'll cut his hair if he wants it. He's like, hey man, I'm just trying to buy a condo at Transit City. He's like, I need a realtor though. I was like, oh, what?
I'm your guy.
He like, yeah, they won't let me sign. I just need a realtor representing me. He's like, can you come? I'm like, you're about to buy it? He's like, yeah, I'm about to buy it. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. On
my way.
Put on a suit. I was like so green. And I got there. I'm like, okay, like, what do we do? I'm trying to like act like I knew what I was doing. And man, they just took it from A to Z. I ate a couple cookies. I think I had like one of those sandwiches that was there. That was about the most work I did.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. That was my first pre-con experience.
What made you transition? Like pivoting, right? Like one of the speeches that I made at Matthew Hall was, not a single person I know, maybe one person, grew up saying, I'm going to be in real estate. Mm-hmm. Everyone started somewhere else. They're in business, they're in accounting, they're in law enforcement, they're in technology, they're in health sciences, they're in construction. And somewhere between 18 and 25, something happens and they make this pivot. Mm-hmm. And that is actually one of the bravest things you can do, which is make this call and say, I'm going to get out of this somewhat comfortable gig. I may not love it, but I've earned my way. I'm making X amount. I'm gonna drop everything and do real estate now. And everyone's like, okay, right? And obviously your friends think you're rich within the first 6 months and that you're a big shot and they chirp you and all that stuff. But what made you like, when did you make that move? How long were you a barber? And what made you make that move?
Well, my journey was interesting. It was like, I went to university, wanted to take criminology originally because I wanted to be a cop. And I got pulled over for the stupidest reason. I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy. So didn't go that route. I wanted to do military too.
You would think that you'd be the guy that's like, I want to go in there and clean things up.
It's true. It's true.
But instead it was so traumatizing.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, I'm not going to be this guy.
Military.
So I love military stuff. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to join them. I didn't really align with the cause and everything. So what am I passionate about? Studied history. Mm-hmm. So I was actually on my journey to becoming a history teacher.
Jeez.
Or gym.
So quite a few.
Yeah, but I was at my university. That was my path. The barbering was a hobby.
Yeah.
The barbering was a hobby, and thank God that fell on my lap because my buddies were always bothering me, like, because my mom was a hairdresser. She had the equipment, and they were cheap. So like, Matt, can you just shave our head? I was like, okay, fine, I'll come over, I'll shave your head, whatever. And I liked it because I was always into the hair.
Yeah.
And then we started clubbing, and all the network we knew together would see my friends with like kind of like decent fades.
Miami fades.
So
before they were cool.
Yeah. So then that was it. So like barbering woke up the entrepreneur in me. And then I'm like, okay, I have this network now. I can actually be my own boss. People like me.
Yeah.
They're coming here for me. I have this skill set. How can I leverage this network besides club promoting, besides other ventures? I won't say. So then I'm like, you know what? My mom bought her house that she lives in now, and I saw the realtor do his job, and that was it. I was like, okay, you know what? I researched what do they make, what's potential. I'm like, no ceiling. I'm like, if I work my ass off, I can make as much as I want.
Yeah.
And that was it for me. That was
Yeah.
it. Literally at 24.
Me around the same time, like I stumbled into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never planned. Like I always say, you'll never find it if you're looking for it. And I just want to sell something because I like chopping it up with people. I like talking, right? So at first I was like, I'm gonna sell cars.
Mm-hmm.
I like cars. I think I can, it's modest, and then I honestly stumbled into real estate, pre-con in particular, and I never left. And I just flew right through.
Were you a realtor first?
No.
Okay.
No, I was started as a receptionist at 101 Peter with Melbourne Group, and I slowly worked my way because I did the same thing. I saw realtors do their thing. I met some really cool people along the way, and they're like, man, you should get on this side. Why not? And people were like super encouraging, which you need, right? Like people to say, hey, why not? You got nothing to lose. So I think it was 2013, I got my license, and then I think I did like 4 resale deals, and that was it.
Yeah.
I stayed in pre-con, and it kind of like took a life of its own.
Yeah.
But I certainly, going back to sort of pivoting, it was never part of the plan. And it's one of those things where if it works, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it requires so much of your time and investing. It's not just overnight. You don't just like wake up and sell real estate. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of work that you gotta pump in is people don't see. People just see the sold side.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see, like, it's almost the iceberg.
Yeah.
That meme, right, where you've got this like little iceberg that's above water,
Yeah.
and that's what everyone sees. But all like the giant iceberg below is all the work,
Yes.
all the sweat, all the sacrifice, all the cost of being a realtor. I think I saw Bradley Cooper on, and he was talking about the cost.
Oh, my Bradley Cooper lookalike?
Yeah,
That was good, eh?
Yeah. Well, we know them well. They're buttes.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, of course. Condo Corner.
And it's the cost. You don't really understand. Like, being a realtor is a 24-hour gig. It's not a 9 to 5 at all. But yeah, pivoting into real estate was not without its challenges.
Definitely. I want to get into pre-con in general.
Let's do it.
It's a bit of a gap right now, right?
In terms of price?
Well, I mean, like we're coming off like, I feel like a lot of like uncertainty.
Yeah.
And then you have resale like pulling back. Pre-con was high for a bit, right? But you'll hear
still high.
It's still high, but you'll hear people complain. Like even to this day, people are like, oh, like I'm not gonna pay $1,600 a foot. It'll never get there. I'm not gonna pay $1,700 a foot. It'll never get there. So it's like how. But then again, we're currently at over 12, close to 13
Resale.
in resale right now.
Yeah.
And I remember when the well sold, and I bought a 300 front
Yeah.
for like
Tridel.
Tridel.
Salt building.
Yeah, for like 900 and change a foot. I was looking at the well sold out at 13. I'm like, cool.
Feeling good.
That's the future, right? and now we're there.
Yeah.
Right. So how are you guys navigating, especially with the uncertainty of obviously rates and the economy and all these things going on, having one of the higher ticket items? How are you navigating that?
Well, look, I think big picture is that there will always be demand for real estate. So from that lens, I'm really not worried at all. Like when people freak out, they're freaking out over 1 minute of an hour's worth of time, right? Like if we're buying real estate, we're not buying for a year. We're buying really for 25 years. So if 1 year or 2 years or 3 years aren't so great, that's okay. As long as you can weather that storm, you're going to be fine. You're going to be way better off and a lot happier over the duration of the 25 years, knowing that you bought and you rode the market, with cost. So for us, it's having that big picture outlook and being logical about where the city's going. We were talking earlier about how the city deals the hand. The city has very unique circumstances that other cities don't have. Look, we depend on pre-construction to be the driver of supply. B, there's no rental stock. Like, there's no supply coming outside of pre-con. So without mom and pop buyers, you're going to have this lull that comes, and you can talk about, immigration and sort of like way more people than the supply, and that will eventually drive prices. Who does that benefit? The people that own real estate, not the people that don't.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it's about, in today's market, being very, very conservative and strategic on what land we acquire. What do people want to buy? At what price? Can we make the numbers work? We're a bit different where, we get a lot of deals off market.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of relationships in the industry. We perform very well with our partners.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to continue to give us business. They want to give us land. They want to give us opportunities because we are overachievers at pretty much every juncture of every level. And so for us, it's being understanding that maybe there are deals where you're like, I really want this deal. I really want this location, but the math doesn't work. And so you got to walk away. Identifying new submarkets, new communities that make sense, and the money and the dollar values make sense. We value engineer our plates so that we're offering low end prices. People always come you get these calls, Matt, and you're like, hey, I want like 1,000 square feet. Oh, that's great. Okay, great. Okay, well, what's your budget? Oh, it's around like 400,000.
Yeah.
It's not what you want,
Yeah.
right? This whether it's resale or pre-con, it's not what you want. It's what can you afford? That's the first question. It's not what you want, because if it's what you want, if we're talking about what I want, then I'll never buy, because that means I'm waiting to save up for a mansion or a 2,000 square foot penthouse that you're never going to buy.
Yeah.
And the market's going to pass you by. And a lot of the people that you're probably dealing with and I'm dealing with are first-time buyers that are just trying to get in and trying to ride the wave, or they're buying for the kids. So it's just getting end prices to this point that it's attractive by making things smaller. Do we want to make things smaller? Not necessarily, but we also recognize that that's kind of the way the market works, right? It's end prices is king. Like you talked about PSF, and I've had a war with the PSF talk since I started this industry, when I realized PSF is a figure that a builder would use because you're talking about a whole building, all the GFA. Whereas, it's all about end price. So, for example, you can have high PSF, right? You're saying $1,600, but I told you the end price was $450K. Not bad, right?
Yep.
Where if it was $1,600 and the price was $1.5 million,
Yeah.
and I'd say that's not cheap.
Yeah.
When you go to a bank, you don't say, hey, I need a pre-approval for $1,600 a foot. The bank will say, oh, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
What's the end price? What did you buy? What can you afford? I can afford $650,000. Great. Then you go resale, and you look up buildings that are in that price range. Right? PSF is it's like, I don't know. People don't really know why they use it. And look, the smaller the unit, the higher the PSF. The bigger unit, in theory, the lower the PSF.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't. It can dictate, but it shouldn't drive your decision making.
Yeah.
It should be, what is the end price? What am I in for? What can I afford?
Yeah.
And what you can afford is what you should get in for, because the market moves so fast.
Yeah.
Like when we get excited in GTA. We like the Leafs. We like our sports.
Yeah.
We love lining up for food, and we love to buy real estate.
Yes.
And in good markets, we're all gung ho. We want to overpay until the cows come home. And in bad markets, we're like, everyone just calm down.
Yeah.
Which is kind of backwards.
It is backwards.
Right? So, you talk about condos and where markets are going, is that even in the worst of times, in the last 12 months, the condos swung on average 10%.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not.
It's actually quite risk adverse. Why? Because it's the most affordable thing. It's not
true.
a $1.5 million. It's not $2 million. It's $700K. Most people, that's their entry level, right? Like their first home is a condo, not a house, right? So, when people talk ill of the market, I think they're talking about it in that one point in time, and they're not looking at it holistically, big picture. They just want to jump on the bandwagon and say, but hey, listen, wait till you own some real estate and then tell me how you feel, because you're going to feel a lot better owning real estate than not, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you mentioned your plates. You guys maximize a lot of the space, and you're good with your floor plans and all that. But these smaller units, do you find how are they in terms of selling, do you think people are going to wrap their heads around, okay, screw it, bachelor is the way to go? It's okay to live in a bachelor studio?
I think there's the one side of like the practical side, which is, can I live in this? In most cases, it's parents buying for their kids. It's people just trying to get into the market. And I think they get past that when it's like, wow, what are my options? Oh man, my options are, I can't even consider. So to a degree, that doesn't matter. On the other side, look, a lot of people, when you live in a home, you live in a student residence, you're stuck to a room.
It's true.
When you live in France, when you live in Hong Kong, when you live in New York, you're stuck to a room. It's small. We're no different. We're just very privileged to have houses, and the old product isn't generally bigger. There's options. You can buy bigger if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is a massive audience out there where it's not what I want, it's what can I afford. And what I can afford is generally smaller product. So I think people have adapted well. I think there should be a focus on micro-sized furniture. There's a business for you.
Yeah.
Right? That specializes only in that. Bam. I want 15% of this idea, by the way.
Okay, no problem.
Done. Partnership. Yeah. There you go.
I'm not going to implement it. I have too much stuff on the go, but for whoever's out there, add 15% for me.
Boom. So 30%.
30% for both
of
us.
70. There you go.
Yeah.
And so it's just the transition of the city adapting to the new reality, right? It's almost like rental. I want a 2-bedroom, but it's got to be under $3,000. It's not what you want. It's what can you afford. These are the options. They're not the best options, but do you want to live somewhere? Yes, I have to live somewhere. So I think part of it is that, and like to have real estate in that 500,000, 600,000 category, it's rare.
Yeah, it is.
It's not easy to find.
It's good to feed the market with that.
They need it.
Yeah, it is. It's a good outlook. I like it.
How many people can give you $900K?
Yeah, no.
Who's got 180 G's sitting around, to pay 20% and then go eat that mortgage? As the price goes up, the smaller the audience, right? So, that's the name of the game, and it always will be. And I think if for us, that's been our bread and butter. That's our focus. I think that's pretty timeless. There's no market condition where pricing is not highly, highly prioritized and a big focus. Yeah, look, it's not the Shangri-La. But how many people are trying to go trade in the Shangri-La?
Yeah.
It's not your audience.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
And what do you foresee the city of Toronto looking like in like the next 5 years in terms of like pre-con, pricing, skyline?
Well, let's talk about pre-con in GTA, right? There are people that have to go because they paid a premium on the lot, and either they're burning a hole through their pocket or their investors are losing their minds. And they got to go because they can't sell the land for less than what they paid for. And they're probably going to fire a Hail Mary and hope for the best. And look, we're rooting for them. And there are guys that are patient and tactful and tactical. And they're acquiring land at really good prices that can still sell. Kipling Station is a good example. And a bunch of our portfolio, really, for that matter. Like, I don't think if you go across the 5, 6, 7 sites we've got lined up, none of them I would feel great about launching any of them. So, looking at where the market's going to be in the next 5 years, I think you're going to have a lot of people very patient, willing to buy. I think it's either going to be a AAA location that's like through and through, no matter what happens. I know that I'll be able to rent it out at the worst case. And when things get better, that's going to be high in demand, and that's where you see appreciation. Then you get these sort of like 905 sort of high transit order stuff where LRTs and GO stations, those are going to start popping up a lot. But I think in pre-con, what you're seeing now probably isn't going to change, which is like highly selective, highly price sensitive, trying to find good developers that are going to deliver, because I think you're seeing massive consolidation in the developer side.
I agree.
The people that can afford land, people that can execute, people can shoulder all of this and deliver. And I think resale, it's going to take time for pre-con, because the real metric is resale. We need low rise to continue to push the boundaries and increase in price. It's like, even if you just plopped it down today, average price of a detached home, it's not affordable. So then you're going to focus into resale condo. So then you're going to let that sort of catch up to low rise. And then that's usually when pre-con will come. Right? So it's going to take some time. But again, there's no market where things aren't trading. Even in the worst of markets, resale was still moving along. It wasn't moving along like it used to be, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah. But people still need to live. They still need to move. And rental is going to be continue to have a lot of pressure. And that's going to drive resale condo, which is going to drive pre-con, right? Like rental is really the key here. Interest rates, look, it's funny because interest rates, call it 12 months later, is what, 4 or 5% higher, but we're kind of catching up to where the last end prices were in the average condo sale. So we're actually paying the same than we did 12 months ago, or call it 16 months ago, but with significantly higher interest rates, and no one seems to be batting an eye.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It is.
Right? So people are making it work. Right? And they're finding other avenues to borrow money, mom and dad, all those people. So look, rentals are going to continue to trend upward. Will justify resale condo prices, the valuation. In that same time, everyone wants to buy a semi-detached, detached. Like that market will never go away. It'll never change. And those people with that kind of money, it's not about money, right? It's the aesthetic. So I'll buy it. Yeah. I'll buy it. I'm going to leverage all of it anyway. So bang, bang, go, go, go. So that's always going to continue to rise. And then you create this gap between condo and low rise. And then it gives you all this runway for condos to move forward. And then pre-con follows. But in the meantime, if you can find resale or pre-con that is close to resale and make it work, that's your recipe.
Yeah.
Right? Like people are still buying this $1,600 a foot product.
Yeah.
Because I think they understand that long term it's going to be fine, and it will be. But maybe in the first couple of years, it's going to be a little painful. You got to survive that.
Yeah.
And they're going to be thankful that they did, because I believe that they're still going to do incredibly well.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
there was a news article that came out recently about people losing their shirts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Was that the blog TO?
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually commented on that.
Did you?
Because there's no context.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like
it's one of those fire headlines.
Yeah. It's just, it puts, people want to buy real estate because they want it. Like, what else you do with your money, first of all, right? So if you've got 200 grand, 300 grand, 100 grand, let's open up a business. You'll get to be opening up that business. You'll be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which you can't do because you have a career. Okay, let's put money in the equity markets. You have no idea what you're doing, right? So now you're going to get killed, or your expectations are going to get all out of whack. You're going to put 100 grand on the S&P, and I don't know. It's kind of a coin flip. Or I can buy real estate. Pre-con, I'm not going to oversimplify, but hey, let's sign the contract up and let's forget about it for 5 years.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Right? And now you're leveraging 20% or 80%, sorry. And you're in a pretty good position by large historically, right? And we were talking earlier about buying real estate and feeling like, oh, it's expensive at 300 front, and not knowing at the time. Like, I bought a lot of condos and I didn't know if it was going to go up or not. And then you can call it 5 years later, you're like, holy, this is great. I didn't know that it would get to that.
Exactly.
And if I did, I would have bought a lot more. But my intent was just to build the equity and build my portfolio so that I was able to either leverage it and sort of like refinance it, or just ride the market if it were to go up. And we all believe, everyone in real estate believes, the market's going to continue to go up because of the way this city is built, the way the hand and the way the hand is dealt in this city is not going anywhere. So it's just a function of time. How long can you survive the downward market? And I think you're starting to see a lot of resilience.
Yeah.
And people just need a normal, right? Like, if you're increasing rates every 3 months, there's no normal, so you can't adapt. But now that we're seeing a lot of normal, now there's a rate hike probably coming. But look, the last 4 months have been great.
Yeah, they have been.
Some of the best resale numbers we've seen in 16 months. And no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
Why aren't we talking about resale, detached, semi-detached, condos, townhouses, literally in the green over the last 4 months? Why aren't we talking about these things?
Because it's not fun.
Yeah, you're right. It's not fun. It's easier to just come up with the nonsense and say, the world's burning.
Yeah.
But, we should be champions of the good news because it's facts.
It is.
And it may not influence you to transact, but it's a lot better than all this negative headlines that have zero context in this one flash in the pan moment in time. It doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of positive out there, man. Like pre-con, look, there are projects that are really thriving, and there are projects that are missing the mark, a bit of out of touch. Why are they out of touch? I think personally they're put no effort into educating, into branding, into marketing, but most importantly, educating why. I see a lot of the what, but I see very little why. And that's where I think CenterCourt really changes our model, right? We've spent the whole, since I've been there, of why. I got to explain to you why we're going to do this, why you're going to make money, why this is exciting, why you won't regret this, why you should park your money with us in this location, whatever. There's just not enough effort out there.
Yeah. I like it.
You know?
I like it. And is CenterCourt exploring international markets?
No.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
And we did talk about very briefly, and we always sort of noodle on what's happening out there because there's a lot you can learn, right? And what's happening in other markets, and no one does things quite like the United States.
Yep.
And obviously the Middle East, like they really turn it up a notch.
Oh,
right?
Dubai's crazy.
They take things to a whole level. I was actually living there for a while.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in 2016 into 2017.
Very cool.
I moved out there and in real estate and pre-construction. Crazy experience, by the way.
Okay. We'll talk about that
big
after.
learning experience. Yeah, big learning experience, huge learning curve. And I had to come back because it just wasn't working out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're GTA focused. This is our home. This is our bread and butter. And there's so much opportunity, and there's so much demand. Like when the market turned, people didn't suddenly say, "I have no more money," and they didn't just say, "Oh, I don't want to buy anymore." It was more about, let's wait and see.
Yeah.
I got the cash. I have the equity. I have the desire to continue to grow into and acquire. But it's a little shaky now. Let's just chill out and let's watch how this unfolds. And when there's an opportunity, let me know. And that's when the elite realtors show up, because then they're value engineering and they're going the extra step to make it make sense. In a good market, anyone's running around and you can just be good this one little thing, and you're hot, right? But in the market like this, you got to be next level. Like you have to have full service, like we were talking about earlier. So yeah, GTA will be our bread and butter for quite some time.
Yeah, it's good. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good to hear. Well, I knew this stuff, but I mean, for people out there, like,
why go anywhere else?
And get your doubters and all that.
We're blessed. No one transacts like Toronto GTA, man. Like if you're a realtor, why would you want to be anywhere else? Right?
Yeah.
There's so much business to be had.
Yeah.
You just got to try.
Exactly. And to end things off here, we liked some of the things you said before when we were chatting, but you've met thousands of realtors.
Thousands.
Okay. You've seen the ones who fail, succeed extremely well. What's one piece of advice that you see? It's like, okay, if you want to be in real estate, this is how you got to be, based on witnessing the high performers perform every single time, witnessing the people who think they can perform.
Be ready to get rejected regularly. Be ready to be doubted. Be ready to be challenged. If you're not ready to face adversity, like the job is adversity. Page 1 of OREA College should be get ready to suffer.
Yeah.
Suffer, learn to suffer, right? 100 people, you're going to get rejected 99 and a half. You're going to get rejected. They're not going to pick up your call. They're going to insult you. They're going to tell you, stop calling me. It's going to be a painful experience, especially if you don't know anyone and you're fresh. Like everyone's going to doubt, oh, the market sucks, or, oh, whatever you're selling is too expensive. And you got to be able to persevere, but also educate yourself to be able to say, actually, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong, right? Everyone's got that buddy that is so good or so specialized in something you would never question them. Whether it's a mechanic or a fitness guy, where you're like, whatever this guy says is so true. You can't be that person just by graduating OREA College.
Yeah.
You got to take the courses. You got to watch the videos. You got to read the paper. You got to get out there and talk to realtors, and you got to continue to grow and learn, because if you're just sitting there hoping that buyers come and find you and beg you to buy, oh man, you might as well just get out of the business, go into retail, go do something else, right? So be ready to get crushed, because this is not an easy business at all, right? So you got to be able to face rejection, face adversity, be questioned, literally till you're done your career. It'll never stop. There'll always be an uncle that knows nothing, but to them, they know more than you. And they're going to you got to have a thick skin, man, and get, and either have the data to support or just say nothing and just say, no problem, we're going to move on, right? So dude, that's like 101 is absolute rejection all day, every day, because that is literally what you go through.
I love rejection.
You better, and realize that it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next, right? Next,
Exactly.
next. It's a numbers game. Next. And the people and if you put in the work to be elite, if you put in the work to be a quality realtor, it's the people that choose you. You want to make sure they never regret that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
Right?
Big time.
You are providing a service. These people don't need to go with you. You got to prove that they made the right choice, right? And I think a lot of people just are hoping for the best, man. Just trying to, almost fake it till you make it. Don't fake anything. Be it.
Yes.
Don't talk. Go do, right? Pick up the phone. Go door knock. Do what you need to do. Don't wake up late and chill and there's so many people that talk. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want to hear anything. I want to see, the validation is in your result.
100%.
And if you want to do nothing, you have no plan, and you just want to, like we were talking earlier, like real estate doesn't care about your seniority.
Yeah.
There's no pension plan coming, man. Doesn't matter. So, tomorrow there's no deal.
Yeah.
6 months from now, there's no deal. If you're not willing to farm, plant seeds, because you're not going to get a deal today. Even the number one realtor in the world ain't getting a deal today. But what they're doing is they're working for those leads, because they're gonna do a deal 6 months from now.
Exactly.
But if you don't work today, then there's no deal 6 months from now. So every day you delay is delaying that.
Yeah.
Then you get the 12 months and the 24 months, and their friend wants to buy. Then you got to try. You got to implement. And I think it's being surgical about what your intent is, rather than just sit around and watch people on Instagram be something that may or may not be.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? Wasting time and complaining. What are we complaining about, guys? No one's here to save you. Government's not going to save you. This whole thing about affordability, there's really no way. Right? There's nothing the government can do unless they're raising extreme taxes to really save us from the affordability problem. So get up and go figure it out for yourself. And look, it's a very tough market to be in as a realtor. If you don't have direction, you don't have a team, you don't have a mentor, you don't have the right brokers, you don't have the right support. Because, man, you finish college, everything you learn means nothing.
Out the window.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's like high school.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're like, I'm lost. And then you're just trying to figure it out. No. There are mentors, there are good people, good teams, good brokerages that will arm you with at least the right tools to face the reality of this market, which is it's a painful market to operate in.
Yep.
Period, full stop. Because in a good market, no one wants to use you anyways.
Yeah.
Or they're going to try and take your commissions. In a bad market, no one wants to use you because they're afraid. You will always have to face adversity.
It's very true.
No matter what. Right? It comes at a cost. And I think that's, unfortunately, there's a lot of time wasted in real estate.
Yeah.
It's such a time waster, man.
It is. It is.
It's like,
yeah.
There's no industry where you waste more time driving, waiting for clients.
Oh, yeah.
5 showings and they disappear on you.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. Don't get discouraged. If you get discouraged by that, you will probably have to deal with that for the rest of your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just know that it's coming so you can prepare yourself and say, that's okay.
Just take the hits.
Take the hits, man, because the rewards are so worth it.
Definitely.
And the properties you get to see, the people you get to meet, the money you can make, the opportunities that it presents itself if you stay grounded and you continue to pound the pavement and work your circle of influence, continue to grow your network, make the phone calls, align with the people that you strive to be, and understand why do they do what they do. Why isn't it working? The people that aren't successful, why isn't that working? And then guess what? 6 months from now, the strategy's going to have to change. Be adaptable, man.
Yep.
Or you're going to get, there's how many agents in the GTA?
70, 68, 70,000, something
How
like
many
that.
people are doing?
It's like 95% of the business is done by 5,
Yeah.
I would say.
Right.
5%. So, yeah, I think the average sells like 1.5 homes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
not
numbers
easy.
are
They don't lie.
incredible. They don't lie. No,
They don't lie.
And
But if you do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, eat, sleep, breathe, and I'll be honest, it comes at an extreme cost
it
to
does.
your personal life. You will be successful because it's not a matter of if, right? If you put in the work, you will be.
Yeah, it's the when.
It's the when. But you got to play that role. You got to be that guy. You got to, you can't be modest about it either, right?
For
Like,
sure.
oh, I'm in real estate. It's like, I'm in real estate.
Yeah.
I can
I know my
change your
shit.
life. I can change your life.
Yeah.
I can change your entire lineage's
Just
life
sign here right now.
by structuring your income in a manner that, we can deploy capital to acquire assets. It's not overnight, right? But we will get there. Just give us time and give me your trust.
Yep. These are facts.
That's it, man.
These are facts.
I made it way too easy, huh?
You did.
Made it sound too easy.
I mean,
But you got to have that conversation.
I agree with everything you're saying. It's unfortunate the way it's like the smoke and mirrors. People coming into it.
Yeah.
They're pumped. They're like, oh my
tough.
God, it can be like this.
Yeah.
I remember my first day just looking at my computer screen, like, what the hell am I doing? Like it was just,
Where do I start?
yeah, there's, it's a big learning curve.
Yeah. Then you do 10 calls and none of them pick up.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
Get told to F off on your cold calls.
Oh, every day.
People looking at you, you're door knocking, people are looking at you from their window. They're like, why? Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. Leave me
But
alone.
I'm a nice guy though. I promise.
Yeah, I swear. I got some cookies.
Yeah.
But everyone's got their, their eye open. And,
Yeah.
and when they're sleeping, they're very cautious. But I think there's a real opportunity right now, I think, to separate yourself from the norm.
Most definitely.
Dude, this is the market.
100%.
Marketing companies, developers, brokers, realtors. This is a time where you can separate yourself from the normal people. Because you could see very clearly the people that are excelling and putting in the work, putting in the effort, and the people are just hoping for the best.
Yep.
It's very clear.
Yep.
In a good market, you can't tell.
Oh, it's true.
Because everyone's doing well.
Exactly.
And you're just, mailing it in and still crushing it. But right now in these moments, and honestly, like, I actually think this is a normal market.
Yep.
Right? This is where the elite shine, man. And you can be elite. You just got to put in the effort, man.
So you double down.
That's it. Double down. I was talking to a realtor today. It's like, I'm tripling down.
Yeah.
Because this is where my competitors are too afraid when I'm not. Right? And that's it, man.
I align with that heavily.
I love it.
But thank you, man. You've
Appreciate
been awesome.
it. Yeah.
Where can actually let's highlight a project. What's on the go right now,
dude? We're at Kipling Station Condos.
Yeah.
We're at 5251 Dundas Street West, literally across the street from the Kipling Transit Hub, downtown Etobicoke. So there's a lot of change happening, just like Regent Park, Concord City Place, downtown Markham, Transit City, Mississauga Square One. There's just a lot of change on the horizon. We bought 3 pieces of land literally within 500 meters of each other, maybe even less, 100 meters. Because we believe in what's happening for the plan.
Yeah.
And it's all based off of public transportation, subway, Mississauga Transit, GO Train access, express buses to Sheridan, Humber College, airport. This is a real hub. This isn't one stop in the middle of wherever. This is a real hub that connects us to Mississauga, which is a massive, massive corridor, huge employment, the sector as well. So look, we believe in the growth node, and people may not see it today, but I bet you didn't see Concord City Place, and they didn't see Mississauga Square One, and they didn't see Regent Park, So, we believe in that. We've got value, man. Like, the pricing is leaps and bounds better than most options out there. So if you're not buying this, you're probably not buying anything. That's not true, but you know what I mean. It's good value. So Kipling Station is one. We've got Pickering City Center rolling out real soon. So we, formerly known as Pickering Town Center. It's a great mall, lots of lands right by Pickering GO Station. That is going to be, that's all, CenterCourt owned. It's going to be double-digit tower buildings. Durham region is super untapped, very little condo supply, lots of low-rise. So what does that mean? Talking about affordability, those people that are downsizing, those kids that are growing up in that region that want 6, 7s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6, 7s, there's nothing available. You want to rent a condo? Good luck.
Yeah.
Multiple offers because there's very few buildings as options.
Yeah.
So we see that as the next sort of frontier. And we get to control this master plan, 55 acres, 12,000 units.
Wow.
We're talking like hotels and medical clinics and schools and, massive parks and real integration. Like when the Leafs go to the playoffs, you're going to watch a hockey game at the town square, man. And that's the type of city we want to create there. We've got a ton of stuff downtown all over the GTA and just like mapping it out right now.
Yeah.
So we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to feed, the market with supply and work with, top-notch gents like you.
Thank
and we're
you.
going to continue to crush it because that's what we do.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Well, appreciate it, man. You've been awesome. full of knowledge. So big shout out to you guys.
Yeah, man.
The whole CenterCourt team. And I
Love
look
it.
forward to doing many more deals with you guys.
Many more deals, many more podcasts.
That's it.
Hey, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it. But to everyone out there, thank you for always tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.